Hello friends, Miss Our Garden here, and today we're going to do a let's draw of this guy. He still doesn't have a name, but I thought it would be fun since Halloween is coming up to do sort of a creature let's draw. So yep, let's get started. First things first, we will start with a circle, as we always do. I'm going to draw him straight on today, so I'm going to use a little bit of cheat and hold down the shift key and draw a very straight line out like that for my guide, and I'll do the same here for the horizontal one. And then I will draw in the face shape. So it goes down here, he's a guy, so his face is a little bit longer than a female, and maybe the jawline will be here. I'm going to shrink this down because I can already tell I did not give myself enough room. But let's get that there like that. We'll just shrink this a little bit as a cheat, and then we'll draw in the face angle here, and it'll come in a little bit of a point there for the chin. Same thing on this side, come down here, and then meet up a little bit of a point here. Now you have two things you can do here. You can try to even out these guides to make sure that they're perfectly even. The jaw lines match up pretty good. The width on this one might be a little bit shorter than this one. A little cheat that I like to do is take the marquise tool in Photoshop and delete the half of the face that I didn't think was the best one. Copy and paste the one that I thought was the better half and line them up, and then it gives it a very falsely symmetrical face. I'll just merge those layers. Yeah, so that's my little cheat. And then before continuing, one last little thing I want to do also is just to make sure that this head is a little bit wider on the top. So I might just cheat that way too. But in general, you just get your guidelines in and you're good. Okay, so moving on, we're going to draw in the features of the face, starting with the top of the eyes. Eyes are about an eye length apart. So I usually draw on the tops. So if I mess them up, it's not devastating to erase just the top part, opposed to if you draw on the whole eye and then it's not right, you have to erase it. A little more frustrating. So you'll want to have a little bit of space at each temple, and you want to have about an eye length apart in between the two eyes. Okay, and then I draw like a little line in here for the bridge of the nose. Usually I draw the nose right under this cross section, but since he's a guy, his face is a little bit longer. I'm going to draw his nose a little bit lower. And all we need for his nose to start with is the two nostrils. I might make it a little bit wider than that. And then I usually have one kind of go down and be the point of the nose. Something like that. And then a little bump on top of the nose. And then under his nose, we're going to have his mouth line. And I want to give him a smile, so I'll curve it up at the ends there. I usually draw a little dip for the top of the lip and a little bit of a curved line for the bottom of the mouth. And then something fun you can do also is a little dip for the lip. Too. Something like that. Okay, I'm actually a little bit worried that the bottom of the nose is too far down, so I'm just gonna smidgen it up a bit. These little compulsive changes. But that's okay. All right, and then we can draw in the rest of his eye. So it's a pretty much straight line, and then it curves up to the corner on either eye, and then you draw in the little crease above the eyes. And then he does not have eyebrows because I kind of privately, jokingly didn't give either of my main character eyebrows in this one. So he's just got 3 lines for the eyebrows, roughly like that. And he's got his actual eyes on either side. I mean, on either eye. And then he's got annular pupils, meaning like cat eyes. His pupils are like more of a straight line. Okay, I'm a little bit worried that his eyes are too far up, so I'm also going to do a little cheat. I'm going to move them down just a bit. You guys will have to forgive me for cheating on the computer, and then maybe move them out just a little too. These little tiny micro changes I think make a difference. Okay, so now that we have his features in, let's change the face of his shape. The face of his shape? That's a little dyslexic. The shape of his face a bit. So his cheeks will go out a little bit more on either side, and then this will come in, and I'm going to cut this jaw line just a bit down here, just to be a little bit more consistent with how it should match up with the features. Like he had too long and pointy of a jaw, so I want to shrink that in a bit like that. Okay, so let's draw in his ears next. They go up and they have a bit of a upward bend here, and then they go up swooping like this, and they come in like this, and then there's one curve and then another like that, and then there's a cartilage line here and a sort of a sweeping line here. And we can just copy this ear if we're doing it on the computer, paste it, flip it horizontally, and he can have two very symmetrical ears that way. They go way out like a fish. I kind of think of them as like catfish ears, like catfish whiskers, I mean. All right, his parting line is right down the middle here and here, and then it sweeps out like that, and then it sweeps out like that, and then on each side of his face he has a little bit of hair that comes in like this and like this. Very messy. I'm doing this as I just woke up because I won't be able to later in the day because of my noisy house. It's always a little harder, I think, drawing when you first wake up. The motor skills are not there, but that's okay. So then we just finish it off. He has sort of a boxy shaped head, and the hair goes down like so, and then on this side too the hair goes down like so. Maybe not quite that boxy. Okay, and then to finish it off we'll just give him some actual neck, so he's not just a floating head. So a little bit in on each jawline, under each of these jawlines. I might cut these in a little tiny bit when I do my final inking. I'll show you that in a second, but for now they start about there and they go out like that, and then there they go out like that, and then you can draw on like a little bit of a line for the jugular, and then I think we could squeeze a bit of some shoulders in here, just enough room. I'm actually going to move him up a bit. This frames him up a little better. if you could see his shoulders, even if the top of his head's a little cut off. So there we go. We have him drawn. Actually, I think I just realized one thing here. His hair isn't going down far enough. It should go all the way down like this, past his chin. There we go. Little tiny minor fix, and then we ink him, and then we color him in, and then he's all done. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun. I sure did. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and I will see you, barking dog, and I will see you in the next video.